I'm actually moving out the back, guys and ladies, because I'm doing a live sort of tracking website thing, so I'm going down to Technology Centre here, and they've got that hopefully ready for me to go. Plus you don't get to look at me, which is good. I won't be a sec. Okay. Where's my website? Okay, is that gone? Right. Let's just go back. Have I got my... Oh, no, we're good to go. Okay. Can I grab your chair if that's okay? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So what I'm showing you here is a... oh, yeah, you need to switch the screen. Thank you. Great. As a product that we released about 3 years ago now called Trailer Pulse. When we first started supplying EBS systems to specifically the dangerous good industry about 10 years ago, one of the call-outs from the fleet operators was, because we were fitting obviously stability control, and that was the critical component for rollover protection, automatic rollover brake protection, was if we have a rollover event, how can we get that data back to base? And there was many attempts, and there's been some successful ones, but nothing that I've seen that kind of isn't still a bit anecdotal in regards to the validity of the event and where it was and what time and speed and all those sort of things. So this product came along, which is a Wabco-owned company in Belgium called Transex, called Trailer Pulse. And this is another black box. Yes, it's a tracking box, but it's more than a tracking box. It's actually it's pulsing the EBS system. And it's like doing a health check. It's pinging every minute or two. So I'm going to give you a very quick crash look at what it looks at, pardon the pun, of what the system looks like. So we have this thing called Trailer Fit, and I'm showing you some trailers today from the fleet operator Rivet, who've given me permission to do this. They've got 7 trailers with this system on at the moment. They trialled it for a while, and in the near future they'll have around about 30. When Les was doing his presentation, you would have seen the blue trailers. They were Visi trailers. They've got these systems on, and they're also tracking the tyre monitoring system on that, which is a rim strap mounted sensor. So we have this portal here, and what we do is we can quickly dial in, and then we get this first page here, and we can, depending on the type of operation, you can choose what you want to see. You can have the amber light, the red light. You can choose it by website or email, harsh braking, tyre pressure monitoring, and then roll stability events, ABS. And this was a new addition, driving without the ISO cable. And that's our black Susie coil that we have between truck and trailer and trailer and trailer. So that was a good game changer, this one as well, because we want to know that our trucks and trailers are plugged in and working. So you can configure that. So we see here, we have one here. It's had an ABS event, 91 kilometres an hour, 10th of May at 10 past 5. I can click on this map and it'll take us straight to that event. The operator or whoever's in charge of this software would have already got an email alert, and he can choose whether or not he wants to investigate that further. And we can then go straight to the map, time and date, and also location. So that's a very quick look at that. And we can then also go to the whole map view, where we can see every trailer in the fleet by registration number, fleet number, how long it's been driving, and this one's been going for 5 minutes. Up here we have 7 trailers, 6 are parked, so there's only 1 moving at the moment. And we've got some history of red lights here, and we can click on those and get that data. Then we can also go to what we call the health page, and we can get the 7 trailers, and you can choose your fleet and number in regards to, okay, so what's the history of this trailer? And I will go to this particular guy here. And we can, so you've heard me talk about low air pressure. The latest 4 months ago, this one was supply pressure, 144.12 over here. And we see that all the time. So you get an instant low pressure event. You can decide whether or not to act on that. It's not exception, it's actually it's live, and you can then say, okay, where is he, and is he in motion? Is he still low on air? Because if he is, we're going to get very hot brakes and potential trailer fire. And we've managed to avoid those situations quite a few times just using this program. We can go to what we call trailer ID card, which then also gives you a lot more information about the particular individual trailers, including which axles are sensed, if there's lift axles and all those sort of things. This is a nice little thing here. We talked about somebody earlier about control line pressure, how many times the brakes have been applied. And we can see through this graph here, the blue line, this 1.5 control line pressure is a good average. So we've got a very good average. So we can see driver behaviour just by control line pressure. We can also see what we can see as supply pressure in the main air tanks. And we always want around 7.5, 8 bar. But you can see we're getting low air here. And when we get to 4.5, the EBS system becomes redundant and it's one-to-one braking and dual drag brakes. So we can kind of drill down very quickly on an individual trailer. We can go into events, and I just wanted to show you this particular one here. So if we have what we call a rollover event, rollover RSS2, we can click on this and it will take us directly to, I can go straight to the Google map and you'll see that it's a roundabout. Whether or not 40 kilometres an hour in that roundabout is the right speed, I don't know. But what we're also seeing with this new technology or this new data software is that after a while we can hotspot a trailer or a whole fleet, and we're seeing, especially roundabouts, that there's a high number of rollover events and potential rollovers that have been avoided because of the stability control doing its job. And that can be deemed as a hotspot, and we have the opportunity to go to the people that can own the roads to see what changes could possibly be made. So that's a really useful tool in itself as well. How do I get out of that page? Now, can you get me out of that? Back to my original screen. Maybe up there. Got it. Yep. Yeah, so, and then we can come out of here and we can see we've got a lot of history here. And if we wanted to know what a fault code was or supply pressure, we can see here we've got 4.3 bar, it's date and timed, and we can actually also go to the fault code. And what we're seeing also is when we get a wheel speed sensor break or a cable break or a low voltage supply, it'll give you the fault code, and that gives the operator the opportunity to speak to the workshop manager and say, look, fleet 123 has come up with a wheel speed sensor fault right-hand side, and that avoids a lot of downtime. It means the guys don't have to pull out a laptop and then find it and realise that they don't have a wheel speed sensor in stock and so things like that. There's a lot more to this. We can export it to CSV and we can also there's many, many layers to this program. I just wanted to give you a snapshot of what this, I guess, looks like and what value it may or may not add to your fleet. We've currently got about 500 of these out there now, and but it's like everything. It's kind of only as good as what the people that are running the program do with it and how they want to manage that. I've seen it in the logging industry where they've changed drivers' behaviour by, as it's been said today, by being nurturing to a driver and counselling them and showing them the facts. The data doesn't lie, and their driving behaviour has changed, their rollover events have dropped, their maintenance costs have dropped, and their equipment is, a lot more better protected. So that's that. If you'd like to see a bit more of it, it will be at our stand at the truck show the next few days, and we can show you a bit more about it and what it looks like, and I guess how it works. It works under a subscription, 1 year or 3 year subscription, but we actually own the license. You're just buying basically an iPhone, and you don't have to worry about monthly subscription costs. But all those commercials can be spoken about later if you have an interest. So that's Trailer Pulse.